Hello again, baseball fans, and welcome back to Birmingham Groves High School, Game 2 of this 3-game series between the rivals, the Birmingham Groves Falcons and the Seaholm Maples. I'm Brad Fetters for BACB Sports, joined once again by Andy Aubrey. And Andy, Game 1 went the way of the Maples by the final score of 7-5. Falcons put up a little bit of an effort late in that ball game yesterday. Hopefully they find a little bit of momentum that carries over from yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to find out, Brad, if that is exactly the case. It was a momentum swing carrying through to the next day, because they really did. They had a great final inning, and if not for a sinking line drive that was caught to end the game, they might have at least tied it on that hit. So give Groves credit, but, you know, Seaholm, for them, another day, another game, another victory, and they have been amazing this year. And as they say, undefeated at the moment, and we'll see if they can get back-to-back victories against their rivals here at Birmingham Groves today.
Seaholm 6-0, Groves 8-2. Starting lineups and opening pitch coming up next right here on BACB Sports.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back to Falcon Field here at Birmingham Groves High School. Brad Fetters with Andy Aubrey. Let's meet the starters. First, the starting lineup. The visitors, the Seaholm Maples. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Jack Lewis. Batting second, the catcher, Aiden Wolfson. Batting third will be the third baseman, Nick Schenfeld. Cleaning things up will be the pitcher, Colton Kinney. Batting fifth, Brandon Kinney, the shortstop. Batting sixth will be Kai McEachern, the first baseman. Batting seventh will be Logan DeVos playing left field. Batting eighth will be the designated hitter, Louis Sullivan. And batting ninth and playing right field, Jack Kelly. The defensive alignment for the Falcons. First, the infield. At third base, Hunter Tengler. At shortstop, Stephen Whitted. At second base, John Ravella. And playing first, Cole Bronell Cuthrell. The outfield, first and left, Benji Cook. Patrolling center field will be Tyler Bronchick. And out in right field, Nathan Lucken. The battery today for the Falcons behind the plate, Brady Beachazone. And getting the start on the bump will be Jake Rosenwasser. Rosenwasser making his second start of the season, his third appearance. He's thrown 11 innings. Comes in with a 2-0 record, 13 hits allowed, 4 runs, just 2 of which are earned. 3 strikeouts to go along with 6 base on balls in a very minuscule 1.27 ERA. Andy, we mentioned the 7-5 victory yesterday for the Maples. Groves actually out-hit Seaholm 8-7. But the big blast, the grand slam for the Maples and Nick Schenfeld.
Yeah, that grand slam gave Seaholm a whole lot of confidence, and it really gave him some breathing room, some cushion that they ended up needing in the last inning, given that comeback attempt by the Falcons.
Jack Lewis to lead things off. Was on base 3 times, came around to score twice. That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter, and that's what Coach Toth got yesterday. First pitch, and we are underway. A called strike on the outer half of the strike zone. Not quite as nice as yesterday, but temperatures right around 68 degrees. A little bit of a stiffer breeze. Today it is blowing in.
Yeah, it's we've sacrificed a couple degrees off of yesterday, but still, I mean, we're splitting hairs here. Phenomenal day for baseball. And like you said, that breeze is blowing in. And it might have aided a few balls yesterday. In fact, Schenfeld's grand slam and double.
Bit of a breaking ball, high looping shot to shallow left. Stephen Whitted, the shortstop, backpedals and makes the catch. Jack Lewis, the first out of the game. Seaholm Maples in their road black jerseys, white pants with maroon numerals. The Groves Falcons in that Tequila Sunrise jersey that the late 1970 Houston Astros made popular.
Yeah, I love those. Those, J.R. Richard days, Cesar Cedeno. The Astros were cool, playing in the Astrodome. They had that same stripe concept with the yellow and orange. Very groundbreaking uniform at the time.
1975, the Astros started wearing those through 1979. Then they became a little bit of a lesser loudness to them. They eliminated some of the stripes. As our first base hit of the ball game belongs to Aiden Wolfson. Brings up Nick Schenenfeld. We mentioned he was our BACB Sports Player of the Game yesterday. 2 for 3 in the ball game with a grand slam and a double. Finished the ball game with 5 RBI. Rosenwasser operating from the first base side of the rubber. Fires up a strike to get ahead of Nick Schenenfeld.
Yeah, Nick was a great interview, by the way. He was very cool, calm, and collected behind the microphone. And why not? Day he had at the plate.
Schenenfeld gets kind of moved around quite a bit. Got the start at first base yesterday and will play third, so he goes across the diamond today. We'll also see a lot of innings this season as a pitcher. We mentioned in yesterday's ball game, Schenenfeld threw 2 no-hitters back-to-back last year. A breaking ball misses inside, runs the count to 2 balls, 1 strike.
And Coach Toth is very fortunate. He's got a lot of guys who he could put in a lot of different places, and the versatility pays off down the road.
Schenenfeld fouls that ball off into the softball diamond. 2-2 the count on the third baseman. Colton Kinney getting the start on the mound for the Maples. Wait on deck. He will clean things up for the Maples today. Slash down the first base line and foul.
Nick would like to have that one back. That was right there at the letters and kind of curled in on him, but he grounded it foul.
Outfield defense plays him to pull. Breaking ball misses up and away. And it'll fill things up. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count now on Nick Schenenfeld. See if the runner takes off from first base. Healthy lead over there. The courtesy runner. He does not go. And Schenenfeld works the walk. Back-to-back base runners for the Maples, and it will bring up Colton Kinney.
Now batting number 2.
Kinney looking for his first hit of the series. Went 0 for yesterday, 0 for 4. Crouched in that right-hand batter's box. Rosenwasser comes to the letters, deals home, called strike at the letters. If we learned anything from yesterday's umpire, you gotta be prepared to hit at this level.
Yeah, that umpire yesterday had a very wide strike zone.
Rosenwasser comes home with the breaking ball, fouled away. Quickly in an 0-2 hole is Colton Kinney. John Ravello, the second baseman, keeping the runner honest, playing him up the middle. Now scampers back over to his second base position, and Colton Kinney goes down swinging on the breaking ball. Terrific 12-6 curve out of the right hand of Rosenwasser.
Yeah, and he was way out in front of that one, so he will take a seat, and that's the second out of the inning.
Brings up Grandin Kinney, shortstop. 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. Rosenwasser comes home with it, misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Holds the baseball behind his back, glares in as catcher, gets the signal. Comes home with it. Pop up and foul down the first baseline. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Werner, the courtesy runner down at second base for the catcher, Wolfson. Nick Schenenfeld, big healthy lead off of first. Pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Grandin. Kinney. Falcons took the lead early yesterday, 1-0, then watched the Maples rack up 7 runs. Seaholm led it 7-1, and then the Falcons tried to come back in the ball game, scoring 4 times in the bottom of the 7th inning, eventually coming up short 7-5 in that game yesterday. Kinney hammers a ball to right field, down the line. They're going to wave the runner home, cut off by the first baseman, and the first run of the ball game belongs to the Seaholm Maples. An RBI single for Grandin Kinney.
Well, Seaholm doing what Seaholm does. They jump out early with the first run of the ball game, and just a parade of hitters up and down the lineup, and 2 outs with a very solid shot to right field, which puts them up 1. The head first slide, got to make it look good, and it's 1-0 Seaholm.
Schenenfeld able to scamper over to third on the base hit. So runners now at the corners for the Maples. Good eye. Kai McEachern at the plate. Was really solid on the mound yesterday for the Maples.
Yeah, he threw a lot of pitches, but he got himself a victory.
A little bit of a jam job there. Followed it straight back. I think that caught a little bit of the catcher and perhaps even the home plate umpire. McEachern going the distance yesterday on the mound. Breaking ball misses up.
I believe it was 102. Is that how many threw?
I believe so. He was really close to being limited.
Yeah, the 105
pitch limit
is the magic number, so he was getting there. I know we were at 99 just as they were trying to get that last out. I think he threw 3 more pitches.
Big lead at first for Kinney. Swings through that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rosenwasser desperately looking for that third out. Try to limit the damage here in the top half of the first inning. 1-0 Maples. Comes home. And McEachern looks at 1 too many. Couple strikeouts in the inning for Rosenwasser. But the Maples able to score 1. They lead it 1-0.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/olderadults.
Welcome back to Birmingham Groves High School. Bottom of the first inning. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Groves Falcons. Leading things off will be the center fielder, Tyler Bronchick. Batting second, the shortstop, Stephen Whitted. Batting third will be Jake Rosenwasser, the pitcher. Cleaning things up will be Cole Brownell-Cuthrell. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Hunter Tengler. Batting sixth will be the second baseman, John Ravella. Batting seventh, Benji Cook, playing left field. Nathan Luckin will bat 8 and play right field. And batting ninth, the catcher, Brady Vichazel. The Seaholm defense, first the infield. Down at third base, Nick Schenenfeld. At shortstop, Grandin Kinney. The second baseman will be Casey Getz. Playing first base will be Kai McEachern. And the outfield lines up this way. From left to right, Logan DeVos, Jack Lewis, and Jack Kelly. Aiden Wolfson will be handling the catching duties today. And your pitcher will be Colton Kinney. So Andy, the Maples scratch across the first run of the ball game, and Colton Kinney will go to work now on the mound. Excited to see him pitch.
Well, another sport, another day for Colton Kinney, and a lead role. He's got to graduate one of these days, right?
You would hope so.
I think he's bound to. He's been so good for so long. He didn't get an extra year for COVID or something, did
No,
he?
no COVID year in high school. No.
Okay.
That's just in college. Off-speed pitch has Tyler Bronchick fooled. Center fielder 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI and a run scored. And dribbles one down to the second baseman. Gonna have to hurry and gets Bronchick by a step.
Well, he stayed with it. Even though it came up on him a little bit with the short hop, he was able to stay with the program and get the runner by a half a step. It's a good example of staying behind it. And even with this artificial turf, they can be tricky. We saw a couple misplays yesterday, even though the games we mentioned afterwards were played fundamentally very cleanly. Not a lot of errors. Catches were made that were supposed to be.
And Getz is going to be busy at second base. Went into the hole to make the diving stop. Couldn't recover in time to get Whitted. We'll call it an infield single for the shortstop. Heck of an effort just to go and get that ball.
Yeah, it looked for a moment like he was going to make a spectacular play. And the ball just popped out of his mitt. He was able to recover, but he held onto it wisely. He was not going to get the speed he Whitted.
So Rosenwasser, the pitcher, looks at a called strike on the outer black. Rosenwasser 1 for 2. Couple walks as well. Eventually came around and scored one of the 5 Falcon runs yesterday. Quick snap throw by Colton Kinney keeps Stephen Winnett honest with the head first slide. Whitted's got that sliding mitt on his hand as he goes back in again.
Either that or he's about to pull cookies out of the oven. Now, it does look like he's getting the edge to run, and we know Sean Morrison. He's an aggressive manager.
Pop up. See if the first baseman, McEachern, has a play. He does not. Runs out of real estate as that one bounces out of play. Colton Kinney back up on the bump. Quickly goes to the belt. Comes home with the pitch. Same spot, fouled away down that first baseline. 1 on, 1 out for the Groves Falcons here in the bottom of the first inning. Another quick throw over on the pickoff attempt. Don't have that rule that Major League Baseball has. And there goes Whitted now, and the ball will go all the way to the backstop. Wolfson quickly springs on it.
Well, not the best time to throw into the backstop, but Whitted had a pretty healthy jump there and might have made it no matter what. Nonetheless, he ends up making it on second without a throw. And the Groves Falcons have their first runner in scoring position today.
Get another look here at that wild pitch. Whitted in plenty of time, and maybe perhaps thought maybe he could scamper over to third. Wolfson did retrieve baseball rather quickly.
Well, he had a nice pop-up slide there, and he was ready to go if he needed to. And sometimes that ball can bounce around back there behind home plate for a minute.
There is not a lot of foul room behind home plate, and obviously you get more of a bounce back off of this type of backstop than the old school metal one. Sound effects department working overtime this afternoon.
Oh, those are sound effects? I thought we were just breaking a lot of glass here, really.
An opportunity for the Falcons to draw even. Breaking ball hammered to third base. Off the glove of Schenefeld, going to have to hold Whitted at third. So our first scoring decision of the ball game. Andy, base hit or error?
Oh, that's a base hit. Yeah, he had to go up high, and it went off his glove. I mean, he made a great effort, but I'm giving him a base hit on that. Coach Morrison probably wisely held Stephen Whitted up down there at third. You want to run in 2 and out with only 1 here.
Cleanup hitter Cole Bronell Cutthrow bats now with an opportunity with runners on the corners. Back-to-back singles. There goes Rosenwasser. Will take second base without a throw. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Falcons. Bronell Cuthrell, slightly open stance, holds a bat on his back shoulder. Flares a fly ball down the left field line and foul.
I wonder how many baseballs they brought today. Looks like they might need them all.
They've had quite a few foul balls. Colton Kinney now able to operate out of the full windup, comes home with the pitch, fouled away again. A lot of late contact being made by our hitters today.
We've seen a lot of foul balls. This is still the first inning, right?
Sure is. Kinney brings the heat, misses up and away. Runs the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bronell Cuthrell 0 for 3 yesterday, looking for his first hit. And he slams one out to left field. Logan DeVos camps under it, makes the catch. Plenty deep enough to score the runner from third base, so it'll be a sac fly RBI off the bat of Cole Bronell Cuthrell. Tie ball game.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. We've got the ball into the outfield and scratch home that first run. Groves has the equalizer. We're all tied up.
Just a little bit of small ball there. You get the runner over in scoring position via the stolen base. Rosenwasser gets him over to third with the single, and then Cole Bronell Cuthrell drives him in with the sac fly RBI.
So one thing I've noticed about these slides on this artificial surface, you can go a long way. I don't know if it's that ground up rubber. It just acts like marbles or something, because it's just, these guys are just gliding along the ground when they go into that slide.
Tangler, the third baseman, as Colton Kinney steps off the rubber. And now is going to have a conversation with his catcher, Aiden Wolfson.
We got the radar gun over here, Brad. We get some pitch speed going. We'll report back.
Colton kind of made a motion to his non-throwing arm. Not quite sure what that was all about. Pierce set to go. Glares in, gets the signs from his catcher Wolfson. Comes home with the 1-1 pitch. Single up the middle. And this will score the second run of the game. 2-1 Falcons, RBI single for Hunter Tangler.
Well, the Falcons are boldly going where they did not go yesterday, which is in the lead at any point. They now have a 2-1 lead. And some timely hitting straight up the middle. And they got the home crowd buzzing now.
John Ravella, the second baseman, to the plate now. 2 runs already in for the Falcons. Tangler takes it lead off of first. Ravella takes a look at a pitch outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, we're getting a report. These are 88 and 87 mile-an-hour fastballs, those 2 last pitches. 86 there. Is that accurate? Pretty good. Well, we're getting the report that the handheld radar gun is pretty accurate.
So called strike on Ravella. 3 balls, 2 strikes now, the count on the second baseman. Payoff pitch, misses high. So already the fourth base runner of the inning for Groves.
Now batting for the Falcons.
I'll bring up the seventh place batter, Benji Cook, the left fielder.
Benji Cook.
Colton Kinney going to take his time getting back up onto the mound. First base on balls of the ball game. Go along with 3 Groves singles. High looper to the shortstop, Grandin Kitty, minimizes the damage. 2 runs in for the Falcons after 1 inning of play. They lead it 2-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
It'll be the bottom third of the Seaholm batting order. Here in the top half of the second inning, Logan DeVos, the left fielder, to lead things off. Falcon front now 2-1. Rolls one down to Tengler at third base, goes across the diamond. You know, Coach Morrison would love nothing more than a quick inning from his defense after gaining the lead.
Yeah, he's tasted the lead here for the first time in a couple days, and he would like to hold on to it for as long as possible. These games never seem to turn into pitchers' duels, although we have called a no-hitter.
We sure have. Kyle Sherman.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So we've had a no-hitter. Yesterday we get the grand slam.
Right.
Quickly, 2 balls, no strikes on Louis Sullivan, the designated hitter in today's ball game, taking the lineup spot of Casey Getz. A little bit of a wrinkle to the high school game where you can designate any fielding position. You don't have to DH the pitcher. Sullivan 1 for 4 with a run scored in yesterday's ball game. Jack Kelly waiting on deck, the 9th place batter in Coach Toast's lineup today. And Louis Sullivan works the walk, will be the first base runner here in the second inning. Kelly 1 for 2 with a couple runs scored. So some production out of the bottom of the order yesterday for the Maples, and that's really a sign of a really good lineup. When you can get production out of the lower half, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, exactly, because even though your big guns are at the top of the order, every now and then a couple of them will scuffle. And
a little bit of a jam job. This is a tough play, and now they'll get the force out at second base. Rosenwasser dropping it. And we'll throw over to second base to get the force there.
Well, that's one way to go going about it. Keeping your runner at first.
So essentially they just trade runners.
Yeah, right.
You cut down Louis Sullivan and you replace him with Jack Kelly. So the lineup turns over now. Back up top to Jack Lewis. Popped up to the shortstop, Stephen Whitted, to start today's ball game. Rosenwasser delivers home for a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes the count now on Jack Lewis.
He's working him outside. That one was inside, and the umpire is similarly generous, I guess you could say today.
Lewis goes down and gets that one, rolls it down the first base line. First base coach, nice little play. Kind of shrugs his shoulders just a little bit, like, it was routine play, right?
Wasn't nothing. Yeah.
Waits off on the breaking ball and singles into right field. The runner takes off for third. Throw comes in, not gonna get him. So a single for Jack Lewis, and all of a sudden the Maples kicking up their heels here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, here comes Seaholm. You know, you're not going to keep them down long. They do a lot of things well, and situational hitting is one of them, but we saw the big bat yesterday with the grand slam and a couple other crushed balls.
Called strike on the outer half. So there are two away. Runner takes off for second. They're going to try it. Nope. Stephen Whitted came in, cut the throw off. Sort of a deke play to see if you can perhaps cut down that runner trying to scamper home from third. Can't give Jack Lewis a stolen base on the attempt.
Yeah, they weren't going to get Lewis anyway, I don't think. So it was probably wise for Whitted to step in front of that, make sure that runner didn't break for home.
Wolfson waits on the breaking ball. Going to be a race to the bag, and it's going to be won by Jake Rosenwasser. Maples threaten but do not score. We head to the bottom of the second inning with the Falcons in front, 2-1.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
It'll be the right fielder, Nathan Luckin, to lead things off for the Groves Falcons here in the bottom of the second inning. Luckin got the start yesterday on the mound, now out in right field. Big swing and a miss. First pitch of the inning. Called strike on the outer black. Quickly, no balls, 2 strikes. Brady Veach's zone. The catcher waits on deck. Hot shot right back to the pitcher, Kinney. Fields his position well, goes over to first base. 1 away. 1-3 on the putout.
Yeah, good reflexes by Kenny. He just stuck his glove out, stabbed it, and plenty of time to toss it over to first.
Right down the heart of the plate for a called strike. Veach's zone looking for his first hit of the series. Went 0 for 3 yesterday. Off-speed pitch out in front. Quickly 0-2 the count on Veach's zone. Colton Kinney wastes no time. He gets right up there, and this time he puts one right into the back of Brady Veach's zone. Hit by a pitch.
Well, he was cruising along until that pitch. I think you jinxed him, Brad.
Sure did.
Or maybe he should take a little more time. No, that will happen, and we're gonna have a little. Looks like Sean Morrison wants to make
courtesy
sure
runner.
His batter's okay.
Courtesy runner for the catcher.
Courtesy runner at first base for the Falcons, number 19, Josh Gibson.
Yeah, he got plunked pretty good right in the back.
Junior Josh Gibson will be the courtesy runner at first base. Bronchek squares around to bunt, tried to drag one down the third baseline. foul. Saw a drill online to improve your bunting. They actually used lacrosse sticks and caught the baseball with the lacrosse stick. I thought that was a little unique twist to the bunting drill. Into the hole to make the play. Grandin Kinney trying to flex off his throwing arm. Tried to pull a Javi Baez. Instead, it'll be a infield single for Tyler Bronchick.
Well, he has just a little bit of a hard time pulling it out of his mitt. He wasn't really going to catch him anyways.
Stephen Whitted already 1 for 1 in the ball game, stole a base and came around to score in that 2-run first inning. Whitted and Kinney over to first. Oh, and the fielding umpire says out. A double play, 1-6-3 on the twin killing. Bang, bang play over at first base.
Well, Coach Morrison is not complaining, although he's not happy about it. But let's see this again. It looked like he threw high. Like he left the bag. They both look safe to me. That was a tricky call.
Very difficult double play to turn. Stephen Whitted can't believe that he was called out. He is still surprised as he has his batting helmet still on. He's looking to run. He's not going to get the opportunity as the umpire called him out at first. An inning-ending double play. We head to the third. The Falcons in front, 2-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Middle of the lineup coming to bat here for the Maples in the top of the third inning. 3-4-5. Schoenfeld, Kinney to bat. So defensively, the Maples turn a very key double play. Schoenfeld, first pitch swinging again. Walked back in the first. Breaking ball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on the third baseman, Schoenfeld. Now, Andy, would you consider Coach Sean Morrison a quotable person?
Yes. Yes, I would.
So I was talking to him and assistant coach Kyle Stratton prior to the start of today's ball game, and I noticed Coach Morrison had on Abraham Lincoln socks.
Abraham Lincoln.
He had Abe Lincoln on his socks.
Honest Abe?
Honest Abe. And I said, Coach, what's up with the Abe Lincoln socks? And he says, well, if Abraham Lincoln could heal a nation, he says, I'm hoping these socks can heal this series. So he was kind of hoping for maybe some lucky socks today to kind of even up this series at 1 game apiece.
Well, it's working so far. Barely.
Heal a nation, heal a series. As there's another deep fly off the bat of Schoenfeld. Going to drive the right fielder Luck in a step in front of the warning track before he is able to haul in that fly ball. Whoa. A very long, loud out off the bat of Schoenfeld.
Right, and that's not much different than the one he hit out yesterday, and it may have been the difference of the wind situation, because you can look at that flag out there and see it coming straight in, actually from right field to left field, but definitely knocked that one down. Yesterday, the wind helped him. It aided that ball. It just kept carrying over the wall, but the bases loaded for our first Grand Slam in BACB sports history.
Colton Kinney at the plate now, a strikeout victim in his first plate appearance. Slow dribbler down the first baseline. Tough play by Rosenwasser as he had Colton Kinney barreling down the line.
Yeah, when he's running at you, you want to make sure you stay out of the way at least. Get the out and slip away.
Get another look at it here as this ball is kind of spinning towards foul territory. Good heads-up play by Rosenwasser to field that and get the easy out. So 2 up, 2 down, leaves things up now to Grandin Kinney. 1 for 1 with a single in this afternoon's ball game. Breaking ball, slashed at, fouled away.
Now, you asked if Coach Morrison, if I think he's quotable. I do, but unfortunately we can't use a lot of the quotes that he states. Those are all off the record.
And some terrific stories from his playing days. Played some professional baseball in Australia, South Africa, as well as I believe Germany. Beach's Zone tried to bring that baseball back into the strike zone, didn't get the call. Rosenwasser kind of hangs the shoulders, thought he might have had a strike there.
Yeah, those places Sean played is farther than Pawtucket.
Hard shot to straightaway center field. Bronchick takes a couple steps back, battles the sun to make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Rosenwasser. We head to the bottom of the third. The Falcons clinging to a 2-1 lead.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Take control at ready.gov/older adults.
Colton Kinney back on the mound. Third inning of work. 3-4-5 coming to bat for the Falcons. Senior Jake Rosenwasser to lead things off. Cole Bronell, Cuthrell on deck, and Hunter Tengler in the hole. And a hot shot down the first baseline. Nice job of the right fielder, Jack Kelly, to get over there quickly. He holds Rosenwasser to a single.
Well, this is a good piece of hitting here. He just goes with the pitch, doesn't try to do too much with it. He just deposits into right field. Stayed fair by a couple feet, but a good leadoff hit.
Bronell Cuthrell fouls off the first pitch, trying to go the opposite way. Seaholm grabbed the early 1-0 lead. Watch Groves storm right back on 3 singles in the first, plated 2. Bronell Cuthrell tried to check, couldn't, went around quickly. No balls, 2 strikes on the first baseman. Not much of a lead off at first. Now big secondary lead runner takes off for second, and he will get in safely with a stolen base. That base was stolen thanks in large part to that secondary lead. It is now 14 stolen bases on the season for the Falcons, rather. Get another look at it here. They're now 14 of 16, 88% on their stolen base attempts. That's terrific.
Yeah, and that's the way that Groves gets their groove on, so to speak. Morrison not afraid, put his runners in motion, try to scratch things out. Maybe early he senses it's going to be a close game, and every single run's going to count.
Oh, that caught Kinney on the back of the leg, and he kind of rushed his throw. He is in considerable amount of pain. He's going to get the out at first.
Yeah, that looked like it hit him in the ankle. I'm going to be curious to see on the replay if it was the foot or the ankle or maybe even a calf if he's lucky, because if it hits bone on that inside ankle bone, that is going to be sore tomorrow.
Yeah, you're hoping it hit somewhere where there's some muscle or fat.
Because bone, not so fantastic. Those baseballs are hard. He's walking it off, though.
He's a baseball player.
He's going to throw a couple pitches and see how it affects his
Get
delivery.
another look at it. Yeah, off the back heel, perhaps.
Also, sort of an awkward play down at first.
Now batting for your Falcons, the third baseman.
That was a nice play there by Kai McEachern.
Yeah.
Had to go back and actually tag the runner in order to complete the putout. Rosenwasser able to get over to third on the ground ball. Pitch misses up and in. Groves bench starting to feel themselves a little bit, making some noise. Our BACB Sports microphones picking up some of that chatter. Looper to the shortstop. Grandin Kinney has to go down to his knees to get it. So it'll go in the scorebook as a line out to the shortstop.
Number 5, John Ravella.
Leaves things up to Ravella. Takes a look at a called strike. One ball, one strike, the count on the second baseman. And clean single right up the middle. RBI single off the bat of Ravella, drives in the third Falcon run of the game.
Well, it's a big hit for Ravella. Very timely hit with 2 outs, and they get that runner in from third. And you need those runs. Playing a team like Seaholm, you just never know when they're going to explode for a big inning. So Groves is feeling good about themselves here today so far.
And that is a big add-on insurance run. And once again, a little bit of small ball, right? Rosenwasser leads things off with the single, steals second, goes over to third on the ground out, and then scores on a clean single. Getz will take the short throw over to Grandin Kinney. 4-6 on the putout, but damage done. Groves scratches across the third run of the ball game. After 3 innings of play, they lead it 3-1.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Cruising right along, top of the 4th inning. Maples coming to bat. Kai McEachern to lead things off. And Andy, the girls Falcons had one of the more wackier ways of losing a ball game in a recent contest against Utica, 10-9 loss. They actually balked in the winning run. And talking to head coach Sean Morrison, he said, "Have you ever seen a balk to lose a ball game?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." And he goes, "Well, it was a storyline in the movie 42. Jackie Robinson forced a pitcher into a balk," and that kind of got me thinking. Baseball movies, I think Hollywood does a really nice job with baseball movies. They don't always typically get it right when it comes to sports movies, but they do get it right when it comes to baseball movies.
Yeah, there's been some classics. And, you know, the game of baseball has actually been played longer than they've been making movies, of course. But there's good ones, there's bad ones. I ended up, after our broadcast yesterday, going home to the Google machine and looking up what MLB.com considers the top 25 baseball movies of all time. So we'll run through those during the rest of the game. And my personal favorite's The Bad News Bears.
Oh, okay.
I mean, fun times. I remember seeing that movie when it first came out. Walter Matthau, a very young Tatum O'Neal, and just funny stuff.
They ended up remaking it.
They did a remake.
Billy Bob
it was
Thornton.
Very regrettable. It was a very poor movie, but according to them, moving backwards, and the 25th best baseball movie of all time was For the Love of the Game.
Now, that is one of my personal favorites. Kevin Costner pitches for the Detroit Tigers, carries a perfect game into the 9th inning. I won't give away too much.
Yeah, well, don't give it anyway. You know, spoiler alert.
Yeah, he's in his last start ever as a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, taking on the Yankees.
The catcher, John C. Riley.
Yep.
So I'd actually forgot about that one.
McEachern fouls it away.
Speaking of baseball movies and the Tigers, number 24, according to them, was Cobb.
Ty Cobb, yep.
Yeah, the Ty Cobb movie. 2361 with Billy Crystal.
Shot at Tiger Stadium.
That's true.
Roger Maris, his chase for 61 home runs.
22 Angels in the Outfield, the 94 version. That's
Okay,
the
made
one
by
that
Disney, yep.
had, Christopher Lloyd and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Tony Danza as well. Fouled back.
Yeah, it was a Disney movie. 21 was Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac.
Yep.
You remember that one?
Played for the Milwaukee Brewers.
20 was Rookie of the Year, which was a Cubs movie.
Yep. That's the one where the kid injures his arm. McEachern works a walk to lead things off.
At the plate.
And then the aforementioned 42 checks in at 19th. Followed by Fear Strikes Out, of 1957 movie with Anthony Perkins, and I don't remember that one at all. A little before my time.
Logan DeVos now at the plate. Dribbler back to the pitcher. Rosenwasser will go down to second. Ravella unable to turn it at the bag, but they do cut down that lead runner.
Yeah, this is a nice play. Measured. You know, he made sure he made the good throw into second base. And they do, as you mentioned, get that lead runner, which is important. Now there's one out here. Top four.
A head-first slide by McEachern. Don't think they're going to get the speedy DeVos anyway, as Sullivan fouls one straight back. Now, do you have a personal favorite, Andy?
Yeah.
You said Bad News Bears?
I liked that one. I mean, I remember seeing The Natural. We talked a little bit about that one.
Roy Hobbs,
in the theater with Robert Redford. There's a few more. We'll move them along here. Sugar. I don't know that one. It's an independent movie about a Dominican baseball player from 2008. I don't know that one. Next was Damn Yankees. Not the band. The baseball movie.
Breaking ball misses up and in. Check on the runner, deliver home. Curve ball for a called strike. Sullivan, the designated hitter, walked back in the second inning. Another off-speed pitch, flared out to center. Bronchick camps under it, left center field. Second out of the inning.
Now batting for Seaholm, number 5, Jack Kelly.
Sandlot's got to be on that list, right?
Sandlot is coming up, yeah.
To me, that 4th of July scene where they're playing baseball and the fireworks are exploding and Ray Charles is singing America the Beautiful has got to be one of the better baseball scenes, as well as the quote, "You're killing me, Smalls."
That's
right?
a classic, right? It's still used to this day.
Jack Kelly, the 9th place batter at the plate now. Kelly goes down and golfs it. Steven Whitted charges, takes the chest high, bounce fires over to his first baseman, Brunel. Cut throw for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the 4th. The Falcons still in front, 3-1.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Colton Kinney appears to be okay, Andy, after taking a hit to the back of his foot. Continues to deal here in the 4th inning. Whoa, has Nathan Luckin way out in front of that pitch. It'll be 8-9-1 Luckin, Beach's zone, Bronchick here for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's not really affected his delivery much. He's still throwing smoke.
hits that catcher's mitt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now on Luckin. Grounded out to Colton Kinney in his lone plate appearance. Pitch misses low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Luckin. Wind up in the pitch, strikes out Luckin. First strikeout of the ball game for Colton Kinney.
Now batting for your Falcons, number 14, Brady.
Brings up Brady Vichazone, was hit by a pitch in his lone plate appearance. Little check swing, excuse me job. And it will be fielded in foul territory by Wolfson. Got some more baseball movies for us, Andy?
I got a couple more here. Continuing along at 15, MLB.com says, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, a 1949 film featuring Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra. I had no idea the chairman of the board was in a baseball movie.
Old Blue Eyes?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I have to IMDb that one, see if it's available somewhere to stream.
Yeah, they ask, why haven't you seen this one yet? Well, I don't know. Number 14, they say The Rookie.
Yep.
02. That was a pretty popular one.
Wolfson unable to get the home plate umpire to bite on that call as he tried the old frame job. Beaches zone. Tapper back to the mound. Oh! McEachern looking for base runner interference. Not going to get the call.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see this one again because it looked like as he crossed the bag, he threw his hands out to make the safe call via his own umpire, and the ball looked like it
Pinch running for the Falcons,
may
number
have
19,
been
Josh Gibson.
slightly altered, the throw across the diamond. I think that's what Coach Toth is asking right now, if that was an interference.
At the plate for the Falcons,
So,
your center fielder,
Josh
number 4, Tyler.
Gibson will be the courtesy runner for the catcher Vichazone. It's always a tough play throwing down to first as Gibson takes off and will get in ahead of the tag via the head first slide.
Well, decent throw, little high, little throw. I think a good throw on the bag was what was required to get him there. But Groves in business here with this runner in scoring position and 1 out.
So the aggressive nature of the Falcons on the base paths has paid off throughout this ball game. We'll see if it comes to fruition once again here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runner in scoring position for Tyler Bronchick. 1 for 2 in the ball game with the single. Good hitters count. 2 balls, no strikes. Swings away, lifts one towards the first baseline, right on top of the visitors' dugout, not a play.
Where we used to have cameras.
Yep.
Remember that? We had a couple near misses when we had those days.
Can't quite do that anymore with the slanted dugout roofs.
Yeah, that's quite a slant they've got on those new dugouts. There's not much of a platform for cameras.
Kinney steps off, resets. He wastes no time. We talked about it throughout this ball game, but he gets right on that slab, comes home with the pitch, misses up and in. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, he's got his own pitch clock in his head, and it goes super speedy.
Gotta figure Bronchick here will be sitting on the fastball. Kinney checks the runner at second, comes home with it. Pop up straight up. Kinney calls off everyone. That's not typically a pitcher's ball. A pitcher usually just stays on the mound.
They tell the pitcher to get out of the way. That is the catcher or first baseman's ball. But, you know,
Brought to you by the Booster Club.
he saw it right off the bat and had the best look at it, I guess.
So it's the second out of the inning, and it'll leave things up to Stephen Whitted.
Now batting for your Falcons,
1 for 2 in the
shortstop,
ball game, a single and a
number
run
21,
scored back in the
Stephen
first, and then
Whitted.
hit into what was considered at the time and perhaps still is a little bit of a controversial double play. Whitted thought he was safe at first. We kind of thought the same even on our second watch of the play, but 1-6-3 double play, inning-ending double play back in the second.
Yeah, that might have been a close enough sort of a call there, but some gray areas in the game of baseball here.
Whitted off speed, swings through it. Quickly down, no balls, 2 strikes. Whitted's going to take his time, readjust the elbow pad. Got the orange batting gloves, the orange elbow pads, the orange shoes, as well as the orange foot protector on the front foot. Goes really well with these sunrise jerseys. Didn't know orange was a Birmingham Groves color, but
it is now, apparently.
it's a big runner at second base. Maples can ill afford to allow him to come around to score. Whitted pulls it foul. Looking ahead to the top of the 5th inning, it'll be the top of the order for the Maples. Lewis, Wolfson, Schenenfeld due up. One-two pitch misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Deuces wild. Runner at second is the courtesy runner, Josh Gibson, the junior infielder. Brandon Kinney, the shortstop, plays even with him. Slaps the glove to keep him honest. Good eye by Stephen Whitted. Watches that pitch sail up and away.
And Whitted will give you a good at bat. He's got good batter's box presence there. A good eye, and he makes contact.
Whitted carrying into play this week with a .409 average. Couple triples, 9 runs scored. 6 singles as well as a double. Whitted went 1 for 4 with a double in yesterday's ball game. Just a very solid ball player, terrific shortstop. Seen him flash the leather already a couple times in these 2 games. Waits on that 3-2 pitch, lines a shot right at Schenenfeld, goes down to a knee to make the grab. It was allowed out. Groves threatens, but does not score. We head to the 5th, 3-1 Groves.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Maples looking to strike offensively. Haven't scored since the top of the 1st inning. Jake Rosenwasser back to work. Glares in at the home plate umpire. Thought he had a strike 1 call. Instead, it's 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Jack Lewis. This time he fills up the strike zone, evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. So where do we leave off with this 25 best baseball movies ever, Andy?
Oh, we're up to 13 now, Brad.
Not quite in the top 10?
Not quite. We're getting there, but according to MLB.com, the 13th best baseball movie of all time is the Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings, the 1976 classic featuring Billy D. Williams, James Earl Jones, and Richard Pryor. And I got to confess, I don't remember that movie. I was of movie-going age, believe it or not, in 1976. But now that one escaped me. So run out to your local video store and pick that one up. We could go to Blockbuster if we happen to live in Bend, Oregon.
It's the only one
I
left.
think that's the last one, yeah.
Called strike on the outer corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Jack Lewis, 1 for 2. Payoff pitch, waits it out. Rolls one over to Ravella at second base. A little short hop throw. And they'll retire Jack Lewis for the first out of the inning.
Now, our number 12 greatest baseball movie of all time is called Bang the Drum Slowly from 1973.
Now batting for Seaholm, number 4.
Featuring a then unknown Robert De Niro.
I believe Robert De Niro is near death in that movie, right?
Yes, he was a good-hearted but dim catcher, as they described it.
Shallow fly ball to the left fielder. Benji Cook camps under it and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
Now, some would argue that all catchers are a little dim, but others argue that catchers are the smartest player on the field, especially catchers.
Now batting for
And
Seaholm,
I think if you look at the number of
Nick
managers in baseball history, they do speak to the catcher position.
Sosha, yeah. Brad Osmus here in Detroit for a while.
Yeah.
Joe Torre was a catcher. Timeout called and received by Nick Schenfeld. A.J. Hinch, the current Tigers manager, was also a catcher.
That's true, he was. Yogi Berra did a little managing after his playing career. Now, 11 is my movie, Bad News Bears. I wasn't actually in the movie, although I could have been. It was also a 76 era film.
One delivery misses low. Balls, no strikes to count on Schenfeld. Walked back in the first, flew out deep to the right fielder. Nathan Luckin drove him nearly to the warning track, and this time it's a sharp single to right field. A little bit of 2-out noise being made now by the Maples.
now batting for the Maples, number 2, Kenny.
Brings up Colton Kinney, looking to aid himself. Pitcher getting an opportunity to bat today's ball game. Always like to help your own cause, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kinney, first pitch swinging. Slices one down the right field line. Tough running catch made by Luckin a few steps in front of the line. Cruising right along. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Falcons still in front, 3-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
It'll be the heart of the lineup coming to bat for the Groves Falcons. 3, 4, 5. Rosenwasser to lead things off. Perfect day at the plate for the young man. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. Couple singles. Takes a look at a breaking ball for a called strike. Just another well-played baseball game under perfect conditions here. Oh, and another hot shot off of Colton Kinney. Second time he has taken direct fire back at the mound.
He's getting a lot of assists out there. Not the way he wants them.
Yeah, that putout goes 1-6-3.
Yeah.
As we'll get another look at it here.
Now batting for the Falcons,
Brandon Kinney having
first
to make the
baseman,
play.
22, Cole Brunell.
These comebackers have landed in an area where they're able to be fielded.
Cole Bronell Cutthrow now. 0 for 1, does have a sac fly RBI. Bronell Cutthrow with an RBI, Tingler with an RBI, as well as Ravella. So 3 different Falcons with RBIs in this ball game. So I think we're in the top 10 now, right?
We have made it to the top 10, and number 10 is Major League.
Ah, yes, a classic.
Yeah, and they say that Major League is the movie that most, if not all, baseball players consider their favorite baseball movie. So, a classic indeed.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah.
Wild Thing. Ricky Vaughn.
Now, number 9, they've got a movie called Everybody Wants Some, 2016. They don't mention anybody who stars in that film.
A looping line shot down the left field line falls foul off the bat of Brunel Cuthrell.
So now number 8, we're up to number 8. That's your movie, The Sandlot.
Yeah.
And that's the 93 classic.
I remember seeing that one in theaters. I was 7 years old, the perfect target audience for that one. And base on balls for Brunel Cuthrell.
Now batting for your Falcons, the third baseman, number 10, Hunter Tangler.
So our number 7 is The Natural, which was mine. It was up there.
Yep. Roy Hobbs hits the ball into the light stand. So wild pitch moves the runner up to second base.
And that's why batters wear helmets. Right there.
Yep,
This one was
little
high.
chin
right
music.
At the dome. Oof.
The Natural was a book first before it was a movie, and it actually has a different ending than the
that's
movie.
right.
There's another pop-up center of the diamond. Colton Kinney, a little miscommunication.
You know what? Kinney, they're going to have to work with him. Honestly, that's not his ball. That was catcher all the way. And he's an aggressive player. He's a great pitcher. He's a great athlete. But, you know, he's taken charge of a couple of these pop-ups that really weren't his. And on that occasion, it came back to burn him.
That was a nice job by Wolfson realizing that Kinney was coming in hard on that. He kind of got out of the way, and then I don't know if it was perhaps Colton Kinney just kind of spotting Wolfson out of the corner of his eye.
Well,
took
the
his
wind
eye off the
actually
ball.
blew it back. As you see, the flag is still blowing in, and I think that ball might have started out somewhere on the mound, but came back to actually this side of home plate.
So second life now for Tangler. Did not offer at that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. And Groves' bench just continues to make noise. We grew accustomed to that calling the softball games. You don't quite hear it too often in baseball as Tangler goes around and offered. So strikeout victim number 2 for Colton Kinney, second out of the inning, and it'll leave things up
Now
to
batting
John
for the
Ravella.
Falcons, number 5, the second baseman, John Ravella.
John Ravella on base twice via the walk and a single. So 1 for 1 in the ball game. Opportunity for another big insurance run. Ravella asks for and is granted time. Colton Kinney nearly in his delivery. And now they're going to intentionally walk Ravella.
Now batting.
So
your
Coach
left fielder,
Tilth
number 7,
going to some
Benji
strategy.
Cook.
Places Ravella on base and will force Benji Cook to drive in that runner at second base.
So wheels are turning here in the managerial world. Playing the percentages, pitching to the right-hander.
Certainly is a chess match on grass. These are the little things that often go unnoticed. They don't show up in the box score. Pressing the right buttons at the right time can result in W's. We'll see if this one pays off. Cook was all over that pitch, fouls it straight back. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Kinney takes a deep breath, checks the runner at second base, comes home with the fastball. Good backhanded stop there by Wolfson, the catcher. Went wide into that left-handed batter's box to save that pitch. Kinney waits an extra beat, comes home with the curveball. Slow grounder down to Schenfeldt at third, steps on the base for the third out of the inning. So Coach Tilth, great managerial decision there. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Groves 3, Seaholm 1.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. But only you can prevent wildfires.
Maples down to their final 6 outs, needing some offense to get them going. Brandon Kinney, Kai McEachern, and Logan DeVos due up here in the top of the 6th inning. Called strike on the corner. All the offense in this ball game was scored in the first 3 innings. Seaholm scored first, took a 1-0 lead. Groves bounced right back with 2 in the bottom half of the first. They added on another run in the 3rd and lead it 3-1.
A lot of zeros since then. Hats off to the pitching on both sides.
Kinney goes down, floats one to right field. Luckin a couple steps over to his left to make the grab. 1 up, 1 down. Kai McEachern 0 for 1. Strikeout victim back in the first and drew base on balls in the 4th. First pitch swinging, fouls one away. So I think we're at what now? In the top 6 movies, top 5?
6, and 6 is one I completely forgot. Moneyball.
Ah, yeah, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, big favorite.
All about the Oakland A's. Billy Bean.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right,
Number 5.
so top 5. Now we're talking, right?
Here we are. These are the legends. 8 men out.
About the Black Sox.
Black Sox scandal, right? 1988.
Shoeless Joe Jackson as that ball skips up. Gotta believe Shoeless Joe Jackson belongs in the Hall of Fame. McEachern goes down swinging. Third strikeout
Number 30, Logan
for Rosenwasser.
DeVos.
He'll leave things up to Logan DeVos.
Time for us to explore our 4th of all time greatest baseball movies, Field of Dreams.
Ah,
Now, many would put that in the 1 spot.
yeah, I think it's either 1 or 1A for me. Obviously, that final scene, hey, Dad, you want to have a catch?
Have a catch. Brings tears to everyone's eyes, right?
Hey, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Right.
If you build it, he will come. I mean, it doesn't get much more legendary than
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Oh,
absolutely.
terrific curveball. Gets DeVos looking back-to-back punch-outs for Jake Rosenwasser. We're cruising right along. Bottom of the 6th. Falcons have the 3-1 lead.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Snappy 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Falcons. Nathan Luckin at the plate, went around And offered at that first pitch, no balls, 1 strike. Kinney continues to just pump strikes through the zone. No balls, 2 strikes quickly on Luckin. Luckin, Vichazone, and Bronchik in the home half of the 6th inning. And finally, Kinney misses low.
Luckin actually, he looks taller in the batter's box than he did on the mound, believe it or not. And he looked pretty tall on the mound yesterday. Sort of towers over the catcher.
Spins out of that inside fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chops that one down the third baseline. Coach Morrison attempting to make a play on that ball. He's playing hurt, though.
Yeah, he's got a bad knee.
And no one after that baseball. Luckin follows this one back into the screen.
Well, at the clip this game's going along, Brad, we're going to have to hustle to get the last 3 movies in. I mean, we're cruising along.
Another chopper through the box, and it just ate up Casey Getz. Was going to have to hurry to make that play.
Yeah, he had to come in and pick it up on a half hop. It bobbled it a little bit, recovered, but no time to.
Waiting for the official scoring of that play.
That feels like an error to me.
And that's what the official scorer says. Reach on air for Nathan Luckin.
Pitch running at first, number 19, Josh Gibson.
So Gibson will run now for Luckin.
Number 14, Brady.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it will be a permanent replacement. I think that's an actual pinch runner. Luckin out in right field. All right, Andy, so what are we now? Top 3?
So the top 3 now. We are at the top 3 of all time in baseball movies.
Gibson's driven back, head first slide.
And according to this story, the pride of the Yankees, 1942, Gary Cooper as Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth as Babe Ruth. Actually appeared as himself in that movie. Number 2, A League of Their Own. Madonna. How about that?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell and Gina Davis.
Rockford Peaches. Sack bunt attempt. Gets over at first base. Ooh, hard collision. Oh, man, Vichazone paid the price. Getz appears to be okay, but Vichazone down hard.
He went flying. There were legs and arms, and he is down, and they are tending to him at the moment. I'm going to hope he's okay.
And they called him out. Bang, bang, play down at first. Kind of the wheel rotation there on this fielding play of this bunt.
Well, Kinney double clutched it. I'm not sure why he did that. And once he did it, though, he had to really hustle the throw over there. And everybody arrived at once. First base, runner and ball, and it looked really awkward. Like he hit the base wrong and then just sort of twisted like windmill down to the ground.
Now, Getz was a little late in arriving at second base, and the throw took him towards the bag. And Getz kind of reached out to catch the baseball, and Vichazone collided with him. We'll get another look at it here. And hopefully that looked far worse than it actually was. Now, Coach Morrison is going to argue the call at first base. Coach Toth is going to listen in on this conversation.
He never met a conversation with an umpire he didn't like.
So it is a sacrifice. 1-4 on the putout. one away. Runner goes down to second base. That's Gibson down at second base. And the lineup will turn over to the top, and Tyler Bronchick will bat. Bronchick 1 for 3 in the ball game. It's a big run down at second base. Runner in scoring position, 3-1 is the lead for Groves.
Now batting for the Falcons, the center fielder, Tyler Bronchick.
Colton Kinney checks on the runner. Called strike to Bronchick. Called strike on the outer half. Pitcher's pitch from Colton Kinney. Reminder that BACB Sports will have the third game of this 3-game set in its entirety. That one will be played over at Seaholm. Looking forward to calling the action in a couple days.
Our first look at the new diamond over there.
So they checked on the swing. Fielding umpire said no. Waiting on that breaking ball and fouled down the first baseline. Another pop-up this way. Quite the battle taking place between Bronchick and Kinney. And finally, Kinney gets Bronchick to go down swinging. Kinney wins that battle. And now Coach Toth springs out of the visitors' dugout. And it will be a pitching change. So Kinney gets 2 outs here in the 6th, and we'll turn it over to relief pitchers. We get another look at that strikeout.
Well, maybe now's a good time to go over our last, number 1 baseball movie of all time. You probably guessed it. It's Bull Durham, the 1988 classic, featuring, you guessed it, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner is Crash Davis.
If it's a baseball movie, Kevin Costner must be in it. Susan Sarandon, Tim Robbins, when he was an actor, not just a director.
And Tim Robbins playing Kelvin LaLoosh.
Is that his name? You knew that, huh? He's also married. Wasn't he married to Susan Sarandon?
Sure was.
He'd still be.
So Grandin Kinney will be the relief pitcher, so he'll take the replace of his twin brother, Colton Kinney. One would surmise that Colton will either take over at short or perhaps third. We'll get that changed to you as soon as it becomes available to us. But to me, Bull Durham is, I don't know, I think it's perhaps the gold standard when it comes to baseball movies. There are so many good lines in that movie, and I think the best is this one, Andy. It is very simple game, baseball. You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. Think about that for a while.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's deep. That is deep stuff. I love the MLB.com explanation of Bull Durham, though. It says that the conversations on the mound, the tricks for getting out of a slump, the managerial motivational tactics,
Number 21,
which hand to swing in a fight.
Stephen Whitted.
It's the movie that understands the romance and madness of baseball better than any movie ever has. And said the only thing better than watching watching this movie is watching an actual baseball game, but it says, and only barely.
There's a hot shot to left field. Logan DeVos charges, fires it into the middle of the diamond, cut off by Grandin Kinney. So Kinney now on the mound. Colton Kinney does move over to short. So Stephen Whitted with a hard single. They had to hold the runner at third.
Yeah, and another good at bat for Stephen Whitted, and he puts the ball in play, gets on base.
Batting for the Falcons, 17, Jake Rosenwasser.
And you know they want to add an assurance run or two here if they can.
Rosenwasser up the middle. Terrific play by the middle infield to record the final out. Last chances for the road team. The Maples coming to bat, trailing 3-1.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Don't stop believing. Maybe that's the tune the Seaholm Maples need here in the road half of the seventh inning. Last chance down to the final 3 outs. Terrific ball game being spun by Jake Rosenwasser, the starting pitcher today for the Groves Falcons. 4 hits, all singles, just 2 since the first inning, has retired the last 4 Maple batters. It'll be 8-9-1. Louis Sullivan, the DH, to lead things off. Fouls one away and is quickly in an 0-2 hole. Falcons looking to even up the season series at 1 game apiece. Rosenwasser curveball popped up over near the road dugout, in on top of the dugout. No play, and look at Beach's zone. Boy, oh boy, you can tell he is in a lot of pain. He had that collision down at first base, and he is somehow staying in this ball game. Rosenwasser glares in, comes home, strikes out Louis Sullivan. 3rd straight strikeout.
Now batting for the Maples.
Gives him 5 in the ball game.
Number 5, Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly with Jack Lewis on deck. Fouls one straight back.
And Jake Rosenwasser on the mound. That's a lot of Jacks and Jakes. Jack. No Jacksons, though. Seems like we usually have a Jackson these days.
A little bit too high. Everyone held their collective breath on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Going down and golfing it into center field, Jack Kelly. His first hit of the ball game. 5th now for the Maples, who look to keep their perfect record alive. Came into the ball game a perfect 6-0, trying to draw even in the all-time series. Andy, it was 68, 67, and 1. Groves with the 1 game advantage in the all-time series. Jack Lewis 1 for 3. One of those 5 Maple singles. High drive to right field. And Luckin makes the catch. 2nd out.
It's a little tougher catch than you might think. The sun is going down and right directly in the eyes of the right fielders this time of day.
The catcher.
And he didn't have to make much of an adjustment. You'll see it here. It was kind of a can of corn, but he moves to his left a little and makes the nice put out.
It'll leave things up now to Aiden Wolfson. 1 for 3 with a single and the lone run scored in the ball game for the Maples all the way back in the first inning. Since then, Jake Rosenwasser has slammed the door shut.
He's been fantastic.
Comes inside. Oh, foul. Ooh. And that would have been extra bases. Maples looking for that 2-out rally. The big bat, Nick Schenfeld, waiting on deck, hoping to get an opportunity to hit here in the 7th inning. 1 for 2, had the big grand slam blast yesterday. Now all of a sudden, Falcons are a strike away from winning this ball game. Wolfson waits on it, takes a look at it. Rosenwasser was heading towards his home dugout. He thought he had the strikeout.
Well, he got that strike called earlier in this game. This umpire's going to make him work a little extra hard to get that last strike.
Rosenwasser misses inside, skips it up. Runner takes off for second. Goes in with the head first slide.
Well, that's neither here nor there, really. He's got to work on what's going on at home plate here. Not face Schonefeld, who's standing in the on-next circle, as you mentioned, Brad. He can put Seaholm in front with one swing of the bat if he gets a chance.
Just staying alive. Fouling that pitch away. Payoff pitch misses outside. Wolfson represents the game-tying run at first base, and it will bring up Nick Schenfeld. So we'll have the courtesy runner placed at first for Aiden Wolfson, the catcher. It'll be Werner now down at first base. Oh boy, tension builds here in the top half of the 7th inning. The most dangerous bat in the Maple lineup comes to the plate, spits on the first pitch, and takes the ball call. 1 ball, no strikes. Breaking ball for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Nick Schenfeld. Jack Kelly down at second. Werner at first. Schenfeld reaches down, pokes one into left center field. The left fielder, Benji Cook, comes over, glides under it, and makes the catch for the final out of the ball game. Groves Falcons take game 2 by the final score of 3-1. What a gem this afternoon by the starting pitcher, Jake Rosenwasser. Scatters 5 hits, just 1 run, all of them singles as he finishes with 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Groves Falcons improve to 9-2. Maples fall to 6-1 on the season.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Welcome back one final time to Birmingham Groves High School. Your final score, the Groves Falcons 3, the Seaholm Maples 1. Let's quickly go down to field level. My broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey, is alongside our BACB Sports player of the game, Jake Rosenwasser. Ends up with a complete game, 5 hits, just 1 earned run allowed, 5 strikeouts to go along with 4 base on balls. Andy, take it away.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. We are here with our BACB Sports player of the game and a cast of thousands behind him, by the way. Number 17, Jake Rosenwasser. Outstanding effort by you today. How were you able to keep that potent offense off the board most of the day?
We saw they hit pretty well yesterday, so today we started like a lot of off speeds and not just throwing fastballs, like staying low and pretty much giving them stuff that they didn't expect.
Yeah, well, I'll say it's got to feel good. I mean, you dealt them their first loss of the season. You're at home. Beautiful day for baseball. What does a team win like this do for the Groves Falcons?
Yeah, well, Seaholm's like our biggest rival. We don't wear red, nothing like that, so we've always been gunning for them. Like, everything's about beating Seaholm, so getting this win, this means everything, so yeah.
Right now, let's set things up nicely for the rubber match on Thursday over at their new field. Same approach. I mean, really just try and keep them off balance, right?
Yeah, just keep the energy up, get all the guys, make sure that they're locked in, and yeah, every guy needs to get on base and make sure that we're like playing as a team.
Well, Coach Morrison's going to actually get a good night's sleep tonight, thanks to your efforts, Jake. Much appreciated, I'm sure, by him, the Groves faithful. Your father was up there in the box, and he's all pumped up. He's really proud of you, and I think that's cool. So we'll wish you best luck. Congratulations again on an outstanding performance here today by you and your squad. And we'll see you guys again on Thursday over at Seaholm.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Jake Rosenwasser. Number 17, got the Groves Falcons a win today. Brad, not too bad, huh? Let's see you wrap it up for us, and we'll do it all again Thursday.
Right you are, Andy. A terrific pitching performance by Jake Rosenwasser, and we look forward to calling all the action in a couple games. As Andy mentioned, it will be the rubber match to decide this 3-game season series between arch rivals Groves and Seaholm. Each team has picked up a victory here. As Game 1 went the way of the Maples, a terrific performance today by the Groves Falcons, taking this one by the final score of 3-1. I'd like to thank our hard-working BACB sports crew, including our director today, Mike Kottmeyer, for my broadcast partner, Andy Aubrey. I'm Brad Fetter saying goodbye one final time from Groves High School. Once again, your final score, the Falcons 3, the Maples 1. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here on BACB Sports.